Hello. Hi, everyone. It's your favorite therapist, Lily Dupree. I am going a little early. I'm on the road, so just needed a little company. So I decided to just start a little early today. So, first of all, I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. I know y'all feel that y'all don't get y'all accolades at times, so I want to be the one. Well, I know you have heard it all day. It's like 1:45 now, so I know you should have heard it by now. But if not, I want to tell you Happy Father's Day, and if so, I want to just tell you Happy Father's Day again. I want to send a special Happy Father's Day out to my own father. Um, I love you so much, Dad. Thank you for all the life lessons. Um, Thank you for being there when I needed someone to talk to. Just thank you for everything. So that's from my father. I want to send a Father's Day out, Happy Father's Day out to my husband for being such a great father, being such a great pop, just such a great man in general. My two brothers, some of the best fathers you'll ever find. Happy Father's Day, and everyone else. If I forgot anyone, um, just Happy Father's Day, and also to my stepfather, Happy Father's Day. Just for being there for my mom. Just Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. So, okay, so now that we have that out of the way, I just want to make sure I say that because I know sometimes fathers feel some type of way because they just don't feel, they get all the accolades, I guess you would say, that a mom gets. So I just want to start with that. Um, oh yeah, and happy Father's Day to my grandkids' father as well. For giving me such beautiful grandbabies. All right, him and my daughter. Uh, so like I said, yeah, I'm just this. It's just a random live. I don't have any information to present because I am on the road. I'll be home soon. My husband is awaiting me, so I will be arriving here shortly. Been driving for almost 3 hours now. Just got a couple more to go. So I know before I know it, I'll uh, out the way. I don't know if my Sean or not. The reason I'm coming today is just to talk a little bit more about the coping skills, and that's what I'm gonna start with first. Who knows which way it may go, but I want to talk a little bit more about the coping skills. The live that I brought to you the other day, and like I don't if you haven't caught that live, please go back and watch it. You might want to watch that one before you finish watching this one because I will talk about coping skills. And in the last live, I basically, went into detail about healthy versus unhealthy coping skills. So today, I just want to talk about a very easy, well, simple coping skill that can be used at any time. And as a matter of fact, I'm doing it right now. Okay, so the coping skill that I'm referring to is just taking a long drive, right? Just hopping on the road, just your pleasant thoughts, right? And just hitting the road. You don't have to go very far, if you're here in South Florida, Florida is so long, so it's so many places to go. We have Disney World, or you could go farther south, go to Miami. We have, you could go all the way up to Pensacola, where we been before. It's so many places to go. So um, long drives are so therapeutic because you just put on your music. It gives you a chance to just relax your mind. You know, think about what you need to do. Think about what you need to do for the future. Think about some of the things you want for your future without having of the the um, daily life distractions, right? Because let's face it, if you're sitting at home, something it's gonna be something that distracts you, right? Whether it's the dog's wanting to go outside, or whether it's this one task you must complete, or whether you have to cook dinner, whatever that distraction is. Not saying it's a bad distraction, but it's a distraction nevertheless. So, but if you're on a long drive, you put on your music, or you don't have to have music. I prefer music. You put on your music and you just hit the road. But what I would suggest is to just plan out the trip. So, for example, say going to, if you were thinking about going to Disney World, and I'm going to say it from a point of view of the location is in Florida because I'm located in Florida, and my clients are located in Florida. So, then of course, this could go for any state, anywhere in your state. So, just for example, you wanted to go to Orlando, which is that's a nice ride, 3 hours, right? That's enough time to get in your car, you know, wind down and hit the road. But it's also good that it's long enough that it could be a road trip, right? So what you do, you my favorite app booking hotels or somewhere to stay is Booking.com. I've been using Booking.com for a while, and I'm gonna just put in a plug as well, right quick. My mom, she owns a travel agency, so if you wanted to book trips to her, you can do that as well. RKTravels.com, RKCADE travels.com. She could um, get you the best prices on flights, cruises, wherever you want to go. You just let her know. But make sure you tell her your favorite therapist, Lily Dubé, sent you, and she might just give you an extra discount. Okay, so now that I got that plug out the way, okay, so just say you were going to Orlando. My favorite app is going through Booking.com. So on Booking.com, you just put in wherever you want to go, and they'll give you the prices to, you know, the hotels in the area for where you're trying to go. I like booking. I've been booking. I don't book like anything major because if I'm going somewhere major, of course I'm gonna go through my mother. But if I'm just going, oh, that looks scary. But if I'm going like a couple hours, 3 hours away, I'll go through Booking.com and reserve my hotel. And I like Booking.com because the more trips you book with them, you'll get like incentives. I guess that's the word. Let's say rewards. So right now, I get free breakfast at mostly any hotel I stay at. I get 15% off, and in a lot of cases, I will get a free upgrade. So, but it's lots of sites out here that you can use. That's not really the point. I was just doing one app out there just so you can have an idea of where to start. So you just book your little hotel. I mean, it just all depends on your taste, whether you like from 1 star to 5 star, whatever your taste is. That's not the point either. Just get in your car, pack your little 2 day bag. So, just for example, you could leave like on a Saturday morning, or even, yeah, maybe like a Saturday morning. Pack your 2 day bag, get your hotel and let's say Orlando, and just hit the road. Turn on your music. It's a great, healthy coping skill. It helps you leave tension, and it just helps you to wind down from everything. It helps you to get off your phone because of course you're not going to be looking at Facebook or anything. Well, I hope not if you're driving. So as a matter of fact, I shouldn't be making this live right now while I'm driving, but it'll be quick. It'll be a quick one. I just wanted to get on here and first of all say Happy Father's Day, and then just talk about this coping skill. So yeah, and just remember, whatever coping skill you decide, whether it's going for a long drive, which is very therapeutic, or going for a long run, whatever it is, just make sure it's a healthy coping skill. And just remember as well, these coping skills are what you're used to basically um, increase your mood. So make sure it's a good one that's gonna actually increase your mood. For example, I know when I'm meeting with my clients, and sometimes we go through our coping skills, and we work together to identify the best coping skills for them. So for sometimes my littles might say one of their coping skills would be to go play outside, right? So okay, yes, that sounds good. As a kid, of course, a kid will want to go outside and play. So that's not out of the ordinary. But here's using that coping to increase your mood, right? So I'm assuming that you one of those big emotions, and if you don't know what the big emotions is, you're gonna have to go catch another live. But I will quickly mention them, but I want to go into detail. So big emotion is like frustrated, angry, depressed mood, anxious, and it could be a numerous ones that's causing a decrease in mood. So so my little says they will play. For example, if my little says they want to play outside, right? Okay, so you have to. So my question to them is: so if you're feeling angry or you're feeling anxious, do you have that freedom to immediately go outside and play, right? Do you have the permission to just pick up and go outside? Because here's the thing, that coping skill has to be something that you can do immediately. Well, not immediately, but that you have access to. So if you're telling me that your coping skill is to go play outside, but maybe you only go outside, you're only allowed to go outside maybe once a month or so, there's no way you would be able to use that as a coping skill. It's unrealistic because you wouldn't be able to go outside. So when making a list of your go-to coping skills, you're gonna want to make sure it's realistic. You're gonna make sure that is a skill that you are able to use if you are having, a decrease in mood. For example, one of the main skills um, that I suggest is practicing deep breathing. Deep breathing is a great coping skill because you can do it anywhere. You can do it if you're at school, you can do it sitting in your car, you can do it anywhere. And let me just go into a little detail about this deep breathing, because some people, they don't understand that. What you mean deep breathing? I breathe. I have to breathe to live, so I'm already breathing. So what do you mean by that? Right? So what I mean by deep breathing is just taking those intentional deep breaths in hopes of increasing your mood. Because yes, we automatically are breathing, of course, if we're living, but we are breathing automatically. So we're not even paying attention to when we're breathing, right? So if you're doing this intentional type of breathing, you're actually paying attention to the breaths you're taking. A good one is a 4-4-6 breathing. And 4-4-6 breathing is basically breathing in on the count of four, and then you're gonna hold it for 4 seconds, and then you breathe out on the count of six. It's numerous coping skills that that you will learn if when you come through therapy. It's numerous ones. It's not just one technique of deep. I'm sorry. It's numerous ways to breathe. Intentional breathing or deep breathing. So when you come through therapy, you will learn several ways to breathe. It just all depends on your therapist because I have my breathing techniques that I teach to my clients, but sometimes my clients have even came to me and shared a breathing technique with me that they have learned from somewhere else. So I say that to say that it's not just one type of deep breathing technique, but the main thing is taking that intentional breath, right? Taking it and counting those breaths. So like I said, the 4-4-6, that's very simple. You breathe in on a count of four. So as you're breathing in, you're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you hold it for 4 seconds. So it's you have to practice this because every time I teach this to my littles, we're laughing because I'm trying to teach them and I'm trying to hold my breath and I'm trying to count. It's a lot, but that's the thing though, because you have to practice it. You have to practice it on a daily basis so that when you do need it, you're used to using it. Um, so that's the 4-4-6. Another one I like that's pretty simple too is bubble breathing. So bubble breathing is basically just breathing in. So you're gonna breathe in, and then when you blow out, it's like blowing a bubble. So you breathe in, and then when you just blow out a bubble, and you do that for about, it just all depends on however long you want to do it, but I suggest anywhere from 5 to 10 times. And just keep in mind, this is something that you want to practice on a daily basis so that it does become part of your coping skills. So that when you are feeling angry or when you are feeling anxious or frustrated, it's like a second nature type of thing. You're gonna automatically, do these coping skills. So we have the 4-4-6. We have the bubble breathing, and like I said, it's numerous breathing techniques. I'm not going to share all of them with you right now, right? Because if I share with you all the techniques, you would think you know everything and wouldn't think you need therapy now, would you? And not say that you do need therapy, but I suggest everyone has a therapist. Because here's the thing, a lot of insurance companies are covering behavioral health now, or covering, they are incorporating mental health into insurance plans, and it didn't used to be like that. So if your insurance is covering that, I suggest you just reach out to them and talk to them, talk, find your therapist. And here's another thing, to me, choosing a therapist, that's a serious thing, right? Because you're taking this person with you on your life journey, right? For however many months that you all decided to work together. You're telling this person your deepest, sometimes darkest secrets, right? And you're giving all this information to this person in hopes that they'll keep it confidential, right? Which, as a therapist, that's one of our in our ethics code. that we are required to remain, confidential, except if you share that you want to harm yourself or harm someone else, harm kids, harm anybody, or an elder. But other than that, whatever you say, I'm not required to tell anyone. So it's confidential, it's private. So you are able to get that burden off. But like I said, you picking someone, you can make sure that that person fits with you, right? So I was, and so to say that, I want to add a little more to it. Is that uh, so yeah, here's what I was gonna say. So when I'm talking, you'll never hear me talk about anyone personally. You'll never know, I would never go into any personal details about any clients or any identifying information because it's confidential. It's discreet. And that's the way it's meant to be because how could anyone feel comfortable sharing everything, that's on their mind, that's bothering them, and when they're worried that it might get out? Because I know that's a lot of people's worries, that okay, I want to get this off I want to get this off my brain, right? But I don't know who to tell this to. So that's what a therapist does. It helps you to get that burden off of you, and then also have that professional expertise by your side to help you process those feelings in a healthy way, and also come up with skills that if it happens, if whatever is happening, if it comes up in the future, give you some healthy skills, teach you, well, not so much teach you, but kind of teach you, well, work together to show you skills so that if it comes up again, you're able to deal with it in a healthy way. And that's the main thing because this is life, right? Um, Things are always gonna come up in life. You're gonna always have those daily life stressors, right? It's always gonna be the next stress event. It's always gonna be something that someone very special to me told me it's called the cow. And I don't know if I can share that with you all. I might talk about that a little later on. But anyway, so you're gonna always have those daily life stressors. So it's not a matter of okay, well I'm going through therapy now, I'm all good. I don't have any more stress in life. I'm good. I'm perfect now. No, that's not the point. The point is to learn skills to deal with your daily life stressors in a healthy way because they're going to happen. You might get out here on the street, somebody stops in front of you, you're going to get kind of, upset. So at that point, do you say, okay, well, maybe they didn't see me, right? So if you're thinking like that, you're going to remain calm. So, but if you're thinking, oh, this so and so, why did they do that? Now I'm about to burn them off the road. So that's not a healthy way of dealing with a life with stresses, right? Because someone could get hurt. Because we hear all the time how people have road rage, especially down here in South Florida, and they get road rage bad. And it's not hard to find incidents with road rage, but that's just an example that I'm using. So it's not to like get rid of everything, every stressor in your life and say, okay, now I'm perfect. No, it's a way you learn techniques and skills to deal with these stressors as or if they come up again. So, so that's how that goes. I remember. I just want to share something quick with you because like I said, y'all, at this point, y'all are just keeping me company. Even though it feels like I'm talking to myself because for some reason, no one ever catches me live. So, but I do realize that, people do come and catch it afterwards. So eventually, I have faith that we will get an audience and we'll do some questions and answers. But right now, it does kind of feel like I'm talking to myself, and that's okay. But I just hope once you come and, listen to this information that you just get something out of it, If I could just spread one piece of information. So, anyway, let me go back to the situation that happened yesterday. So, I was on the way to where I was going to stay for the night because the trip I'm on is a long trip. So, um, I basically went from top to the bottom on my trip, right? So, I had to split it up because there's no way I could drive the whole thing. Okay, so I was almost to my destination. I got off the exit to get something to eat. So, I got off the exit to get something to eat. I was going straight. I realized that I had missed the place where I was going, so I was in the process of making a U-turn. So I was going straight. Just out of nowhere, here comes this car. I mean, this car tries to turn in front of me. I had to look up at the light to make sure. I was thinking, did I do something wrong or did I misjudge the light? Was the light yellow? Was the light red? No, it was a quick glance because this was happening like right now. It was happening, not right now, but yesterday. So I had to take a quick look up just to make sure the light was green. And sure enough, it was green. And the lady came like maybe within an inch of hitting my car. My Mercedes Benz at that. So the lady, and it was quick thinking because it seems like she was, even though she was turning to the, to the left. I was going straight. So it's basically like she ran the light because my light was green and I was going straight. So she was trying to turn in front of me. So, if it would have happened, of course it would have been her fault because she was trying to turn. Like it was green, I was going straight. But it was like right before this situation happened, it's like the car just stopped. But she was still trying to turn. I don't know what was going on with her. She was still trying to turn even out right after we almost crashed. And it was scary. I'm not gonna lie. It was very scary. But the point of me telling this story is that at that point I had a choice to make. Like it was, do I go do I go chase this lady down, right? Because it was almost a head-on collision, and I was a few hours from home, so I don't know what would happen at that point, but anyway, it was almost, but it wasn't. Thank you, Jesus, covering me and protecting me because it was there. Like maybe an inch more, we would have just had a head-on. But my decision I could make, do I go and chase after this lady, right? So that would have been more based on those angry emotions, um, or stress, just stress that, this almost happened. Or do I take some deep breaths, right? Take some deep breaths, pull over, call my support system, which is, couldn't call my mom. She's doing her thing right now. But I call my daughter, I call my husband, that's a great coping skill too. To all, if you're feeling some type of way, call your family and friends. They have a way of making you feel better. So at that time, it was like, do I go chase this lady down because she almost hit on me? She ran the light, but it didn't happen. So thank you, Jesus. It didn't happen. She went on her way. I kept straight. Or do I pull over, take some deep breaths, call my support system, and calm down? Okay. As a professional who is not trying to lose it all, I came too far. I came too far, to get here in order to just throw it all away. Especially when I was blessed that the accident did it was not even an accident because it didn't even happen. So I chose to pull into the gas station, got my food, and called my support system, and they gave me the words I needed to calm down, and I went on about my business. But how different do you think it would have been if I would have, instead of using my healthy coping skills, if I would have allowed the anger to take over me, right? And went behind a lady because I know where she was going. She turned into, it was like a shopping center over there. So of course I remember the car, and I came right in front of you. How it says your life, how people sometimes say your life flashed in front of your eyes. I told my husband, I said, my Mercedes Benz flashed right in front of my eyes. Like, that's how close it was. But anyway, so I was like, dude, it wouldn't have been hard to go find the lady because she turned into the shopping center, and it was a quick glance. I could tell she was an older lady. So, but do you know how different it would have been if I would have chose to do that, which is an unhealthy coping skill, by the way? It would have been, it wouldn't have been good news for nobody, I don't think. The lady might have felt frightened that I was, you know, running up on her, I guess you would call it, and no telling, what she might have did. I'm pretty sure, more than likely, she was from the area. She could have called. So I'm not from that area. I'm just coming through to get something to eat. She could have called somebody. I mean, I'm just thinking about all the different scenarios that could have happened, even though I was not thinking about all of that at the time. But I'm just processing it all now. But I didn't choose that route because as a professional, I do try to practice what I preach. And that means, always trying to use these healthy coping skills and always trying to be the best version of myself, right? So I chose to do some deep breathing and pull over and call my support system. And now I'm on the way back home, and I'm safe. Car is safe, and everything is good. So I'm just saying that too. You have these have to have these healthy these coping skills in place in order and practice them. But that's that's what your therapist is for, to work with you to identify your the best coping skills for you. Well, first, to try to identify these triggers, because first of all, what even triggers you? What makes you upset? What makes you frustrated? What makes you sad? What triggers you? Even though that word is so overused these days, that's a big word these days. Oh, I felt triggered, but do you really know, what it means? Maybe you do. But have you ever just sat down and literally figure out your triggers and literally figure out that uh, when I'm triggered, when this trigger happens, it causes me to think this way, and then it causes me to feel this type of emotion, and then it causes me to do this, because it's all together. So what triggers you? So you have to figure that all out, and then two, I have to be very careful because I'm not here to give away all the therapy secrets, because if you can just come on here and find all the therapy secrets, you wouldn't have to come and visit me, right? At DevalierConsultingServices.com. Quick plug. DuvalierConsultingServices.com. We do offer a free 30-minute consultation, by the way. If you go on the website, it's a pop-up and you'll see it, and you can just schedule that 30-minute free consultation, and we'll take care of you. DuvalierConsultingServices.com. And then we do some public speaking to teens. We do offer anxiety reduction techniques to teens. We do that in groups. So we offer a group for that, and also starting soon. I haven't came up with a date yet, but when I get home, I'm gonna come up with a specific date. We're gonna have a uh, depression reduction group for teenagers, and I'm thinking about offering it to women as well. And I have something very special coming up for my women as well too, which I'm going to announce here soon. It's going to be a group. It's going to be for uh, my women, but I'll announce that very soon. So what else? So that's the coping skills. I know, like I said, I'm driving, so at this point, y'all are just keeping me uh, keeping keeping me company, baby. So I was going to mention something else. Oh yeah. So this is what I wanted to say. So keep in mind, like I said, I am your favorite therapist, Lily Duvee. This This is not so much of Leanne Duvalier, MS, RMHCI. It's more so of this is my stage presence. So even though from time to time I will go into like um, specific treatment methods, like using coping skills, or maybe going to some specific diagnosis, but it would be more this platform is more so that we can just talk about mental health issues, on a whole. So not so much of the educational, like Leanne Duvalier speaking, but more so of the stage presence. Lily Duvee speaking, if that makes sense. But if it doesn't make much sense, then stay tuned and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So, for example, if you see my lives before, um, we had a live about the implications of the Community Mental Health Act. So I talked about that. I talked about 988 before. So I would do more things, like that, and not so much talking about treatment options, because if you need treatment options, that's specific to a person. So I would prefer that you book a consultation with the company, so you can talk to a therapist about your specific needs. So, but I am talking about coping skills today because I don't have access to any of my information because I'm driving. So I just have to go brainstorm. And hopefully this live is recording, because when I was driving on my when I was going on my trip, when I started on my trip about 6 or 7 days ago, I was just talking, and then once I ended the live, I realized it did not record anything. So hopefully this live is being recorded. So, but yeah, I think here shortly I'm going to bring the live back about 988. That I was. Oh, this is a great point. So I'm gonna bring it back about 988 that I was talking about in one of the lives. And if you don't know what I'm referring to when I say 988, it's gonna be the new mental health crisis number that begins July the 16th, 2022. I did do a live about it. I think I did two lives about it. So if you did not catch it, please go back and watch it. But I will, as the time comes near, I will give updates about the number. And the reason I did start talking about that is Because when I was in my hotel room last night, right, and of course we don't have to give out any locations or whatever or what city I was in, but I was watching the news and I saw a commercial come on, and the commercial said it's a lady. It's a black lady, and she is, I don't even remember what she's running for. It slipped my mind, but anyway, she said something about defund the. Sorry, y'all. She said something about defund the police. That's crazy. I would never defund the police. And that kind of struck a nerve with me because as a mental health professional, um, I do acknowledge that the wording of defund the police, it could be a bit misleading, because when someone hears the name, it automatically sounds like, okay, we're gonna take all the money away from the police. They're not gonna be able to do their job, right? So that's how I would think if if I was just the general population. But as a mental health professional, I kind of understand what it means when they say they're going to defund the police. So it kind of puts you in mind of the 988 number, right? Because my perspective of it is right now, police, if it doesn't matter if someone is committing a crime, right? Or if they're having a mental health crisis, it doesn't, none of it matters. The main number that everyone calls is 911, which is police, law enforcement, right? So that's the main number. That's the only number that uh, a majority of people know to call when their loved ones are either having a mental health crisis or when they're a victim of a crime. So it's like all of it is bundled there together. So the police are going to come out either way it goes. And like I said, I talked about this before in one of my lives. When the police comes out to, okay, if a person is and committing crimes or anything like that, of course, they need to be penalized. They need whatever it comes with that. So I'm not talking about a criminal. I'm not talking about that individual. But what I am talking about as a mental health professional is the person that is having active mental health crisis. Now, keep in mind, the police will come to the scene of that person as well. Most of the time, a police officer has not been trained in dealing with people with mental health, with active mental health crisis. Let's just face it, they have not. They don't go to school for that. Because just think about it, if they went to school for that, what would they need us for, right? We wouldn't have a job if the police were able to handle, public safety and also mental health crisis. So they're not, the police were never intended to respond um, for to at the mental health crisis, but they do, and it's been a lot of times that people that were in these type of situations, uh, they were killed because the police on the scene. And I'm not saying anything wrong with them, because they do protect us. I know if something was going on with me, I'm gonna call 911 quick. I'm not gonna even lie. I'm gonna call them very fast. So I'm not saying anything bad about our law enforcement. What I'm saying is they have not been properly trained in mental health issues, so they don't really know what it looks like. They could see it as aggressive. They don't know. Well, I'm not gonna say all of them don't know, but I know for a fact a lot of them allegedly don't know, what active mental health crisis looks like, right? So to me, when I hear defund the police, what I hear is taking the money for the individuals that are dealing with these mental health crises and putting it and um, funding um, what's the word I'm trying to use? Funding more community mental health agencies. Just mental health in general, just like the 988 number, instead of calling 911, let's call 988, which is when you call 988, they know you're calling because it's dealing with mental health, whether it's, you know, whatever that mental health crisis is at the time. So you're no longer calling 911. So we're taking we're taking that burden and the responsibility from the police and putting it in a proper proper place, which is the mental health professional, right? Because that is what they were trained to do. They have been trained to notice what after mental health crisis looks like, right? They have been trained in this type of thing. Police officers are police officers are trained in you know, public safety issues, or you know, locking up criminals. What, you know, they're, and see, that's the same thing with me, because I don't really even know what they do. I know they lock up criminals, but you know, I don't know the whole scope. But I know for a fact that they have not been trained in dealing with active mental health crisis. And if they have, it's not a thorough training. Like, for example, with my schooling, I don't even remember how many years I've been in school. I know I do it. And with your masters, you have to make A's and B's. You have to write a lot of papers. It's a joke. So we have been thoroughly trained in specific classes you take. It's thorough training. I'm pretty sure that police officers don't go through that, right? So when I hear defund, that's what I hear. Not that literally taking money from the police so that they can do it. It's a job maintaining it. That's arena for anyone in crisis. So, and it would be in turn, I guess you could cut police what by a couple of dollars, but they're still gonna, you know, get their money. But that's a whole nother. But when I hear that word, that's a mental health professional. That's that's what I look at, because it's not hard to look forward to find videos